Hi, my name is Hannah Bethel, and I am a transpersonal hypnotherapist in Nashville. And today we're looking at a past life regression that I did with Brandi. Brandi is a trauma-informed therapist and the host of an excellent podcast called Human Amplified, which I was a guest on recently. This is Brandi's first experience with past life regression and hypnosis. The life we explored in this session deals with themes of sacrifice, martyrdom, and the seeking of enlightenment as Brandi regresses into the life of an indigenous woman who has chosen to take on a shamanic role and a lifetime vow of silence. Through the embodiment of this life, she finds that the seeking of the divine through isolation ends up taking her farther and farther away from human connection, which in turn increases the experience of disconnection from the divine. I begin my past life regressions with a childhood and womb regression, which you can watch in a separate video. The message of "it's all for you" kept coming up in this first half of the session, and you'll hear me referring to this at the end of this video. Brandi was also experiencing some intense spinning sensations, which she and I will discuss at the end of this video as the cause of this sensation becomes clear to her. Brandi also put out a video describing her experience in detail, and it's a lot of fun to watch. There's often so much happening for the client in their inner experience that they're not able to express verbally in the moment, so she goes into all of those details in this video. In hypnosis, the client does not experience time in the same way that we do in our normal waking state, so there's often a lot of space between question and response. I have edited much of this space out for the ease of listening. I offer one-on-one sessions in past life regression and transpersonal hypnosis if you're ready to journey yourself. Leave your questions in the comments, enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end. And direct your attention towards your feet, towards the ground, and tell me what you notice.
I'm in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
There's just lots of red. Maybe like white-ish moccasin looking things.
Mm-hmm. Good. And do you get the sense that you are male or female?
I feel female.
Mm-hmm. Is it daytime or nighttime?
It's daytime.
Mm-hmm. And about how old do you feel?
Probably in my 30s.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, great awareness. And are you alone or are there others with you?
I am alone.
What are you doing?
I keep noticing this rock. It's almost like a doorway. There's two, they're white rocks, huge stones that are just set up in front of me. And so there's one on the left and the right and one on top that form like a rectangle that you can just walk through.
Mm-hmm.
And the sky is like really blue and clear.
Why are you here?
I'm a shaman, and I get the sense that this is just where I'm supposed to be.
What is the significance of these stones?
They're ceremonial in some way.
And what happens next?
I think I'm watching how the sun moves through them as the day goes. Like I get the sense that I am there for a long time in solitude, just being.
And how much time do you spend there?
Days, and I'm very silent.
And what is your inner experience throughout your stay here?
I get the sense that I have taken like a vow of silence, and I'm really present and just taking in all the surroundings, because that's what I know that I have.
How are you feeling as you are observing this?
I'm appreciating the surroundings and the nature that I see, but I also feel grief, and I also feel a numbness. Like there's a little bit of shell shock.
Okay. What is this grief? What is this about?
That to walk my path, that I have to be silent. But it's like I know it's my path and I'm gonna do it.
Grieving that. Needing to be silent.
Yeah. That interactions will change.
Is this the beginning of this path for you, or have you been on it for a while?
It's the beginning.
Okay. So let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go to the time at which either you chose this path or it was chosen for you, whichever it is. Go back to that moment now. What's happening?
I'm in like a community of people, and there's like a dirt floor. We're in some kind of shelter, and people are like happy and bustling and talking, and it's like right before we sit down for some kind of assembly, and we're passing around like we're smoking something as a group. Like we sat down and we're smoking.
Do you get a sense of the ethnicity of this community?
It's some sort of indigenous group, maybe Native American.
And what happens next in this assembly?
Everybody's quiet. Like we all get really quiet. And there's a lot of smoke around me. I think the leader of the group says it's time. And I think to myself, okay.
What is it time for?
I guess it's time to prepare for this initiation.
Excellent. Okay, and what does that look like?
I see myself as this woman, and she's packing a bag, a little bag, and she knows that she's going to have to walk pretty far, and she's sort of emotionally preparing herself for this trip. And so she's thinking about like who she's going to say bye to. She's not really thinking that much further ahead.
And who is it that she wants to say goodbye to?
Her brother, her nephew, maybe a mom.
How are these people feeling about her embarking on this journey?
They're proud. I think they're really proud of her.
Are there others doing this as well, or is it just her?
I think it's just her this time, even though others do this trip.
Okay. And is this a trip that she will return from?
Yeah, she'll come back.
Okay. Is this vow of silence only during this trip, this journey, or is this a lifetime vow?
It seems like it's a lifetime vow.
Okay. And what is hoped to be achieved by her taking this vow and this journey? What's the meaning of this?
Spiritual enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
But when she comes back, even though she's silent, there will be something in that she's able to offer the community.
Like some way in which she can share her experience.
That just by being there in that enlightenment, that it extends to the community.
And let's go back even a little earlier to a time in this woman's childhood. Let that come to you now. What was her childhood like?
She looks sort of like a 3 or 4-year-old. She's laughing and playing, and she's still amidst all the people, very similar to how it was in the shelter before they sat down to smoke. It's like bustling and laughter and lots of people.
Mm-hmm. And who are the people that she is closest with?
It's not, I get the sense that it's not like actually her family that she's the closest with, but it's just like the women, like some of the other women. They are showing her how to make a soup or something like that over the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And one had given her a toy that she had made, and so they show her how to do things.
And what name do they use when they call her by her name?
I'm hearing Etcha, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Good. Etcha.
Which is funny to me. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. Does that feel like her given name or like a nickname?
I think it might be a nickname.
Mm-hmm. Good. And so as this little girl, as Etcha, how do you feel in your life? How do you move through the world? What's it feel like for you?
It actually feels really safe.
Mm-hmm.
And just like she's a part of something that's important and big.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of harmony and joy.
Yeah.
I think she feels like she would do anything for these people.
Mm. Yeah. And is that feeling mutual? Does she feel they would do anything for her too?
I get the sense that with some people she feels that way, but not very many.
Mm. What do these people look like?
I'm still in her perspective as a child, so they look really tall.
Mm-hmm.
And have darker skin, like very sun-kissed, and black, very dark hair. Some look worn and tired, and others look happy. There's like a range of emotions and experiences on people's faces.
Great awareness. What else?
They wear a lot of leather type garments. I don't know how else to describe. It looks like leather.
Okay.
Ish.
Mm-hmm. So let's move forward now to some significant event that occurs before the time that she is chosen for this path be there now?
I think she's with a boy,
Mm.
and it's like she loves him, but she doesn't want to be with him. But she does.
Mm.
She's very torn about it.
Mm-hmm. And what is the reason for this feeling torn? What sense do you get?
It feels like she knows that that's not her path, that she is supposed to do something that is not the norm for most of the people in that group.
Mm.
And so this feels like the first sacrifice that she really decides to make for that.
Okay.
But she chose it.
Mm-hmm. And how long does this relationship or whatever this dynamic is, how long does this go on for before she feels she must choose?
It felt like she chose in the moment.
Mm.
Like right there with him in front of her. She had a fork in the road and she went the other way. And I'm actually seeing like she watches him move on and sees him start a family and be happy and find love. And she's happy for him, but it's also like sort of tears her up.
Because she knows already that her path is different.
Yeah. It seems like her whole life is about sacrifice, that it's just not meant for her to do all the things that everybody else does so that she can bring something special to this group that they need.
Okay. Wow. Great awareness. So go ahead and move forward now and returning to that time in front of these stones. And I want you to move towards the end of her stay here in front of these stones. Maybe the last day or last few hours or moments here. And what's going on now? What's happening?
It's like she's picking up her bag, her little satchel, and leaning up against the stones and sort of hugging them and appreciating them. And she's decided she's going to walk through them as she leaves.
Is this part of the plan or her own idea?
I think it's part of the plan.
Mm-hmm.
But she's come to a place where she decided herself that she's going to do it anyway.
Okay. So let her do that if she does indeed move through those stones.
Yeah, she does. And the grief is not there. She just feels really peaceful.
And what happens now?
She starts the walk back to her camp.
How long has she been out there?
It feels like 3 days.
Okay. And what happens when she arrives back at the camp?
I think people are happy to see her. They're excited that she's back. And she smiles and she's happy to be back. And it's like everybody feels close to her, but she doesn't really feel close to anybody.
Oh.
But she's happy to be back.
And what do the coming years look like for her?
They feel long, but mostly peaceful, sort of. She does daily tasks and people come to visit her and just be around her. It's very quiet. I want to say boring. It's really boring.
Uh-huh. Okay. So see if there's another significant event that occurs as she progresses in age, and be there now.
Her brother dies.
About how old is he when he dies?
He's definitely old. It's hard to tell exactly how old, but they're both gray, like gray hair.
How does he die?
I think it's just natural causes, just old age. And it's hard to stay silent. It's almost like it's been easy-ish up until that point.
And what does she want to say, or what sounds does she wish she could make here?
She wishes that she could scream. She knows that her brother knew that she loves him. She just really wants to cry and like let it all out. But she does not.
Okay. And how does she feel when she does not let it out?
It seems like she's in pain.
Yeah.
She feels like she's going to explode.
Is there anyone that she is close to at this time that she spends her time with?
I think she spends some of her time with her nephew, but mostly she's alone. I mean, it is like really boring.
Okay.
Like,
yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move forward in time now to the last day of her life. Let me know when you're there.
I'm there.
What's happening here?
She's on a bed thing, like a pallet situation. And her hair is down. She's very old. And she's surrounded by people who care about her. But she still feels like she's the only one there. Like she's not connected to anything at this point. And I think she's welcoming death.
Okay. And in this time that she has felt this kind of disconnect from the community, has she felt connection to any kind of divine or spiritual sense, or no?
She felt really connected to nature and herself, but I don't think it did for her what she had expected. Like, she did not feel super enlightened. She felt really disconnected.
Yeah. Okay, so move now to the moment just before her death transition. Take another, deep breath in. Let it go. And when you're ready, just allow her to move through the death transition easily, painlessly. And let me know when you are just on the other side.
She's there.
Okay. And what are any immediate thoughts or feelings here?
Immediately, she still feels disconnected. But she knows she's in a different place. She moves on right away.
And where does she go?
It's heaven, but she's on the other side. She's like reconnecting with other souls
Mm-hmm.
who have passed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it actually takes her a while to start talking once she's there or communicating.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that vow was very ingrained for her.
Yeah.
And if necessary, she can go to a place of healing here and just allow the energetic soul body to be kind of recalibrated, nourished, and soothed after that lifetime, allowing it to rest and surrender. Let me know whenever that feels complete. Take your time.
I think it's winding down.
Mm-hmm.
It's done.
Great. Excellent. So let yourself go now into a place where you can hold counsel with your guides. Let me know when you are there.
I'm there.
How many guides do you notice are present?
I sense 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the void again.
Okay. Are you able to sense the presence of your guides in the void?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think there's more than 3 around me, but there are 3 that are really standing out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I was getting that sense too. Maybe 3 primary and then some additional guides as well. And these 3 primary guides, where do you feel them in relation to your body? And they may be together, they may kind of each be in a different spot.
I feel like they're in front of me, maybe sort of off to the left a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And there are 3 together.
Okay, good. Do you notice if they're male or female or combination? Masculine, feminine, maybe more appropriate.
Masculine, I would say, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. What form do they seem to take?
They're almost like really minimal chess pieces. Or like columns almost, but very minimal.
Okay, good. And so let's ask some questions and we can allow their answers to come through you. And these answers can also come from the wisdom of your higher self as well. And the first question is, what was the primary lesson in the life of Etcha?
The importance of connection that you learned through relationship, not just with the divine, but with other people. She had to go through that. She had to see, experience, not connecting in order to know how important connection was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. Why is it important for Brandi to see this lesson, this life now?
She does not have to do that again. Like that lesson was learned.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay to connect with lots of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really good. So if there's anywhere in the current physical body and energetic field of Brandi that is holding the mythologies and beliefs of that last life, just assisting her in letting go of them now, letting them fall back into that life. And in particular, any restraint in the voice, in the throat, any feeling like she cannot express what she is truly feeling, truly thinking, any remaining resistance here in the throat, just clearing that as well. Good. And just letting them assist you in this. And letting those beliefs, those mythologies fall back into the past. And any part of Brandi that still believes that she must honor this vow of silence, just voiding that contract now. And are there any gifts or wisdoms learned in the life of Etcha that Brandi can use to her benefit in this life? Any strengths?
She can speak for both of them. And I keep feeling that all of those beliefs were reinforced in this life when the connections hurt.
Yeah.
But that connection doesn't have to hurt. Connection is possible and it doesn't have to hurt.
Yeah, so letting that kind of reprogram in the energetic field and in the neural pathways of the brain, this connection is possible. Connection doesn't have to hurt. Yeah, and trusting that the body knows exactly how to do this for you. And letting this recalibrating continue as long as it needs to until it is complete. Is there anything else that it is really important for you to know right now that your guides have to share with you?
This was the life before this one, and it took a while for me to come back.
Okay. Yeah, that would explain why you're so excited to connect with so many people. Yeah. Good. What else? What else do they need you to know? Do you need to know?
Just that they're here and they want me to talk to them more.
Mm-hmm. Anything that you want to ask of them?
I don't think so right now, actually.
Okay. Good. Good work. So thank them for showing up, knowing that their wisdom and guidance is always available to you. And thanking yourself for showing up today, for saying yes. And knowing that all of this wisdom and guidance and information is within you. It's already here. And it's all for you. And just allowing the physical body and energetic bodies now to do any remaining integration or recalibration needed to integrate all of this information. And just letting this take place however it does. You may feel energy moving around the body. It may feel different. Just observing as the body and energetic field adjusts to all of this. And coming into the embodiment, the knowing that this life is for deep, rich, genuine connection. And that all of this is for you. all of this experience here today, here in this whole life, all of this is for you. Just let me know whenever it feels like that shifting of energy has come to a close. Take your time.
I think it's done.
Okay. Yeah, and it probably, to a certain extent, continue a little bit throughout the day. Yeah, and just slowly bringing the awareness back. You may feel like you're coming from far, far away. Yeah, so just gently breathing all of the awareness back into the room, back into the body. Coming all the way back.
Wow.
Wow.
That was such a boring life. Oh my God, that was boring.
Wow. That was so interesting.
When stuff was calibrating, it was like I was seeing images of things that have happened in this life that allowed me to do certain things that she didn't get to do. Like my first husband, he passed away after we had gotten divorced. And when I found out that he died, it was like this visceral, like I just screamed. It felt like it ripped a hole in the, like, the energy around me. It was so just strong. So I saw that when I was coming.
And you were able to express that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Almost like the idea of this spiritual path was maybe romanticized in a way.
Yeah.
And then she got on it, or maybe she distorted it in some way and was like, ended up feeling isolated and disconnected.
And like, what was this even for? Get me out of here.
Yeah. Or the feeling of like, I have to disconnect from these other human things in order to walk the path of the divine.
And maybe so, yeah.
When in truth, like the most divine path is the learning how to be with all these other humans. Like,
yes.
Wow. There's a lot in there for me too.
Heavy.
That's amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And almost like feels like, I'm thinking of like a nun who's like committed herself to God, and that's one way to do it, but then all of the experiences and lessons she's pulled herself out of that.
It's actually separation. It's further away from God. Not that she was evil by the end of it by any means.
Yeah.
But disillusioned, I guess.
Yeah. And I wonder if others, because you said there were others who walked that path too, or like did that journey. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they had a similar experience as her, or if they found something different in that path.
I don't know.
Or if that was like her internalization of what it needed to be. Like this like martyrdom of like, I now can't participate in.
Yeah, because if I do, I might slip up and say something, or,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
When you said something about the energy integrating and stuff like that too, like there was like blue spiraling energy, like that I could see, and I was almost like, oh, this is, now that I'm grounded, that's what's happening. But when I wasn't grounded, it's like I was just being flipped around by it. That's what it felt like. But once I was grounded and stable, like I could see it moving.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Like,
Yeah. So like that energy already starts before we even begin the session, right? And that could even be, yeah, what you were picking up on. I was started feeling it actually like after we talked, and then when we were setting up the cameras, I was feeling the spinning. And then I'm like, what is going on? I'm like feeling like I'm really spinning.
Does
like,
that happen with other clients?
No, I mean, there are weird things that happen that like sometimes I'll feel and then they'll feel, or they'll feel and then I'll feel. So there's other sensations or things that'll happen, but like that particular one is not one that I don't like get dizzy. But I suspect that it's a part of, like we talked about, when you make the decision, the commitment to show up for this, you're already in preparation for what is to come here. Kind of like in life, like in like the manifestation process, when you decide fully, okay, I am doing this, everything starts to line up, right? To help you, and all these synchronicities happen, and all of a sudden this person calls and everything works. Whereas when you're just like, well, I want to do it, I'd like to do this, I may or may not do this, right?
Yeah.
When you decide, it all lines up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, really that theme of the whole life being about sacrifice. And then, yeah, and cool that you came into the womb and you were like, wow, it's such a gift to be here. And I'm so excited to connect with all these people. And I'm thinking like, that's an interesting thing. It's always interesting what people say in that space.
Yeah.
Because it's always connected with what's to come. And then you're like, oh, at the end, that was her last life. And it was a long time before she decided to come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go be with all the people.
So cool. Wow, what a gift it is to be alive. Like, you sound like you're not, you've had some rest since your last life. That's what you're coming in with.
That's funny.
Because some people come in and they're like, oh God, here I am again. I don't wanna, I'm not ready.
Yeah. I remember feeling that way as a kid too. Like, I used to love to go to the mall during Christmas time and just be surrounded by the crowds. And my mom would always be like, you like that? Why do you like that? And I'm like, it's just so nice.
Invigorating.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not like that with crowds today. Not at all.
It's worn off a little bit.
That's funny.
Yeah, great work.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so welcome. The messages that came through in this session are especially powerful for Brandi, as much of her current life lessons have revolved around learning to use her voice and learning to create healthy, nourishing relationships, and then using each of these things to better serve others through her therapy work and her podcast. Check out part 1 of this video to watch the childhood and womb regression. Check out Brandi's video describing the experience from her end. And if you're ready to journey yourself, I do offer one-on-one sessions in past life regression and transpersonal hypnosis. Happy to answer any questions in the comments, and have a wonderful day.